Hello, Speed Gaming. Welcome to another 100% item collection tournament race. We have the Zoast versus Caznode today, and with me is the awesomely loved, great Kev Naxix. Kev, how
Hey,
you doing?
what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, perfect. This is great. I'm super, super excited to be here. This is going to be just a wild ride.
Absolutely, man. I'm super excited to be commentating this race. Not only because it's going to be an awesome race to watch, but also just because I'm here doing it with you, man. You're a first time comms. I'm happy to be here, hanging out with you.
Yeah, it sounds great. I saw the message today that they needed somebody for a couple races, so I tried to think about what times I had, and I saw that you were signed up on there, and I'm like, oh man, I love this guy. Let's do some Super Metroid commentary together. And I remember talking to you earlier, and you encouraged me to do this, so thank you very much. Pretty excited to be here. If you can't tell by my voice already.
Yeah, man. I reciprocate all those words and all those feelings. Um,
Oh,
for
it looks
anybody
like the
who,
race is about to go, man.
yep, yep, we're getting ready to start the heat. Couple of like stats to throw into the way of the audience here. As far as qualifier times go, Zoast had a 1:15:44. Caznode had a
Wonder how I fixed.
1:26:12. Um, but as fair bit of difference there. But I think as we've all seen in many races, qualifiers and such, that anything can happen, not only in Super Metroid but in Hundo as well. There's a lot of places where obviously stand-up glitch is something that stands out as something that can definitely change the tides. So we'll just have to see how this goes and enjoy every minute of it. Let's get first Ridley fight. It's going to be really exciting. Let's see what happens here. Probably going to be a long fight. Looks like Kev got muted. Let's get out of here. Let's see what kind of series times we can get. Will the Steam play nice?
Can y'all can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. We got your back.
Oh, perfect. Oh, I'm glad about that. I thought for a second there I wasn't going to be able to figure that out.
And nah, you're good, man. That was a high 46 from Zoast, and I believe mid to high 45 for Caznode. Excellent times.
Oh, that's great. What's Papa? What's your best Sarah's time?
I have a 4570, I think. That's off the top of my. That might be a couple of milliseconds off, but I haven't broken the 46 yet, unfortunately. What about you?
Same. I've definitely been at a low 45. Now, looking in the chat here, they say I'm a little bit loud on the stream. Hey guys, has that been fixed, y'all?
You might be able to turn it down on your end. I'm not sure. It's not super duper loud as far as I can tell, but it might be something that.
I'll keep trying. I definitely want the racers to be able to concentrate on the race.
Nice little weave moonfall from Zoast.
Very loud. Which commentator is very loud?
Okay, well, I'll up my volume a little bit. Appreciate all the help in chat. It says it wasn't quiet before. Interesting. I didn't change any settings, but all right, sounds good. Thank you. You guys are the real commentators. Chat, the third commentator, keeping everything in line.
And I'm kind of nervous to talk again. I don't want to overpower. So maybe if I sit back a little bit here.
I think yeah, I think we're getting a lot of sounds better stuff. So I think you're good.
Oh, good. Sorry about that. I'm a little bit. Anybody that's kind of known me from talking in the Discord, I am very bad with electronics, and I am doing my best. So thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it. All right, so let's get to the race. I guess we got a climb going here. I wonder what Caznode is going to do.
Yep, looks like we got some good old wall jump strats. Oh,
All right.
Got some ledge grab on Caznode's side. It's my personal favorite.
All right, that's pretty great. I can't wait to see what these bombs times are going to be. Wow.
Yeah, definitely very 441.
441 bombs. That is unreal. Still very loud. Okay.
Seems like a mixed bag. Let's get a switch over to audio. So this is a little bit in the lead. Let's see if that changes.
Okay. So Zoast is leaving bombs. He's going to make his way through to Alcatraz escape. One of my favorite tricks that I've learned. That one took a while, but it's so satisfying when you get it down.
That is the first trick I ever tried to learn, and yeah, it seemed almost impossible for a while. But these guys just making it look like it ain't no thing.
I guess when you're at this level, it's just wonderful to watch.
Absolutely. Speaking of the level of talent we have in this tournament, had a little bit of a discussion in the last race on this channel, but there was some really fierce competition even to pass qualifiers. We had 74 people enter, and if you were going to get into the qualifiers, you had to have a 128.56 or below in order to make it, and that's, I think, says a lot about the talent that is in this tournament, regardless of who you're talking about.
Yeah, it's pretty great. You ran in this tournament too, right? I was at the qualifier. You were there.
Oh yeah. I PB'd every single time. I still didn't make it, but I was getting better every single time, so it was cool. But these guys are the best of the best, and it's just a beauty to watch.
So coming up, we got Zoast picking up the reserve tank and Caznode getting his super missiles. So what about the trick they have coming out when they mock ball out of here?
Yeah, the reverse mock ball. It's a finicky one. I'm about like a 50-50 trying to get out of there, but I think the jump out through the door, it's a little bit lenient. I don't think it has to be perfect. There's a couple of different pixels you can jump from. Very nice. Making it look
It's super
easy
tight. A
and
lot of people
smooth.
think it's the most difficult mock ball in the game.
I think for me, it's just like a mind game of like when Samus gets to start moving again, because I don't want to keep holding jump. All right, 2 for 2. Look at that.
Nice. I get a little bit of anxiety when I go for it. I'm like, am I going to make it? I'm going to have to go upstairs. It's coming up. Zoast about to make his way to charge missiles. Well, he's going to skip charge missiles. I apologize. Of course, we're going to skip charge missiles.
Yeah, it's a little bit faster to pick those up on your second way through here, because you can lay
And
a
why
power
is that?
bomb.
Yep,
So yeah, you
power
can jump
bomb.
that.
Good. It looks like our audio is getting a little bit better. Then I can stop being a little self-conscious about it. It was a nice volume discussion we're having. I don't know who said that in the chat, but it's got me smiling over here.
All right.
This right here, what Zoast is going through Green Hill Zone, this is my favorite little part. I actually refer to this as the dance. The way he kind of takes that damage boost up over that after doing that big mock ball. Just a really fun room in the game. Probably my favorite.
Oh yeah, and you have to position Samus in the right spot right at the end here. We'll see if
No,
Caznode
Caznode is doing
does.
it. I just love this part.
Yeah, it's because that enemy right at the end that you get a deboost off of won't come after you if you just keep holding right. So you have to do a little jig in the middle of the air to make sure that he's gonna follow you.
Oh yeah, it's
Very,
also perfect when you get through there and you can use the iframes if you open the gate at the right time. Use the iframes to get through that side hopper.
oh yeah.
Right there. Sometimes guys will use a missile for that.
Yes. So a couple questions in the chat. Yeah, Zoast. He did this last time I watched in his last race as well. He goes and gets alpha power bombs first. The reason he does that is so that he doesn't have to make a second trip over to Kraid's lair to pick up the power bombs later on. He can just snag them while he goes and takes Kraid out. As far as I know, I think as far as someone was saying, it's not necessarily any faster to do that. Oh, we got a Samus Eater
Whoa!
just
I
having
don't
some
think I've ever
lunch right
seen Zoast
now.
get. I don't think I've ever seen him have that happen. I'm sure it's happened before, but God, it's probably been a while.
Yeah, that's a fun one to see. You don't see it too much.
So that was interesting when you're talking about routes and you have Zoast doing early power bombs. The time that he gains from that is negligible, but if it's run optimally. But there are probably two bigger main route differences. Do you know? I'm sure Zoast is going to do early iced and late croc. Do we know about Caznode? What he's running today?
I don't. I think we're gonna have to find out with the rest of the viewers here to see which way it goes. With a 126 time, I'm gonna guess it's an early croc, but who knows? I mean, it's
I mean, I've seen some low 120s do early croc for sure, and some mid 120s.
I think it's a preference thing. I think it's some people start out just with early ice and they want to commit to doing that, and so they're still working to get their time down, but they definitely do that route. So I think we're just gonna have to see how it goes.
GT Classic has scarred me from Red Tower, so I definitely do early croc.
Yeah,
I need that ice beam to get up that tower fast.
If you haven't done Red Tower without high jump boots and without ice before, it's definitely a treat if you're used to doing it with high jump boots.
I like the strat Zoast uses to get there. You don't really see that very often because most people get these, at the end when they have more movement items. It's a little quicker.
Yep. It's quadruple missiles. By the way, while we were talking, Caznode just stood up Kraid. Kraid's just waiting to go to prom, and Caznode had other plans.
I like that. Caznode see if he gets this mock ball out of there. That is such a hard strat. I can never do that.
Yeah,
I like this setup Zoast uses too for Kraid. I watched him do this, and I've been getting way more consistent Kraid quick kills with that method. You do the morph ball and then bomb.
Yep. Yeah, Zoast. Somebody says how is Zoast behind in chat. He took a different route. He went and got power bombs first, so that he could get the Kraid power bombs while he's here fighting Kraid. So he's just taking a different route. Before the route divergence, he was ahead by maybe 10-15 seconds or so. That's just me guessing. So we might see a lot of route divergence here. We're gonna find out what Caznode does after he comes back from Wave Beam to see if he goes down to Croc or not.
I think that's kind of nice if you're not familiar with the runner, and you're in a race like this trying to see, all right, is he going to go here? Is he going to go there? As soon as you know what route they're running, then you start to know what strats to look for. You start to know exactly, the order of how things are going to go. pretty cool.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the coolest things about Hundo is you can really see a whole different grab bag of strats based on you know what decisions the runners make and what routes they're comfortable with. So we get to see all sorts of fancy stuff.
And I hate to say it, but I kind of hope we see both routes. I'd love to see an early croc and a late croc.
Absolutely.
I always like that. They say, I was seeing somebody in chat say if they do that, the two routes will converge at X-ray, and you know that would make sense because at that point both runners have gotten all the items. Here we got Caznode coming up on Cathedral missiles, which I have skipped many times, as I'm sure everybody who's learned Hundo has skipped these missiles.
For sure, that's definitely a one that can just fly by and not even be a thought in your head. But you heard it here, folks. Kev is calling the X-ray high five. So we'll see if that comes to fruition.
X-ray high. I mean, if you look at their times, it's probably not going to be a high five, but I'm sure they're both going to run really good races. It's already we're off to a pretty good start. No major errors. Everything looks pretty clean. Good movement all around. I mean, except you know, Zoast got hit by that vial plume, but he made up that time pretty fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, both runners running a good game right now for sure.
Caznode going down to speed. Hopefully he remembers these ceiling missiles here. If you look at the wiki, that's definitely on the list of missiles that are most often missed by new runners.
Oh, I had a little bonk going through this room here for Zoast.
Huh. Usually he takes the northern route there. I don't think I've seen him go under for a while. I wonder why he made that choice.
May have just been something he had to adjust for on the fly real quick.
Could be. I mean, he's also a runner who runs so many categories. I got to imagine at some point, depending on your day, you're going to get strats, you know, confused.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Anybody is susceptible to.
Yep.
I can do words. Yep. Nice little deboost from Caznode.
Oh, that's a cool strat. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is a bit of a swaggy thing.
I felt like a hero, man, when I finally learned how to deboost, you know, off a couple things. I'm like, wow, what a satisfying feeling. You know, I think like in the Alpha Power Bombs room or Craig's Lair are very early, you know, places runners learn how to do that.
Absolutely. Caznode picking up Wave Beam, and the room before Wave, he took a little tumble and had to kind of jump his way back up. Man, that's probably my least favorite room because for whatever reason,
was it double chambers?
Yeah, it's like when I fall down there, man, it just feels like I know it shouldn't, but it feels like I should reset because it just feels like I'm down there for 10 years.
That's how I felt in my early days of any percent, you know, being like my early days 6 months ago when I started running this game. But that room was so nightmarish, and now I think I have 3 backup strats, so I feel pretty comfortable no matter what happens in that room, I'm going to make it to Wave.
All right, we've got Caznode
early croc
down.
Early croc. I'm very excited about it because I'm hoping that after he gets grapple, we get to see the best mock ball in the game. That's actually, I look forward to that in every early run of my Hundo runs.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that is fun to watch every time. Kind of never gets old.
You know what I love about watching Zoast? I just want to point out for a minute right now, the way he uses his beam. You know, when he's shooting a beam on the way up that's going to hit an enemy, you know, as the screen scrolls and he already knows it's there. I mean, just that kind of awareness of where everything is in the game is incredible to me.
Yeah, it's definitely easy. And even if you're not a Super Metroid fan or a speedrunner or whatever, it's easy to appreciate what's going on. It not only do we know that it is super difficult and super like awesome what these guys are doing, you can visually see that even if you don't know what Super Metroid is. You can know these runners are doing something special.
These guys know where everything is. It's pretty impressive to watch. So we just saw Caznode do that wraparound shot so that he can get this spark out of early Croc here, well, out of Croc, so that he can go to get his power bombs. What do you think is an easier wraparound shot, that one or the one for Gauntlet?
I think Gauntlet is probably easier, but that's just me.
Really? Wow, man. I've been getting pretty consistent with Gauntlet, but I miss it every once in a while. I find if you go in the lava and you just kind of hold angle up and you just shoot a charge beam, it's very reliable.
For sure.
Yeah, somebody in chat thinks Gauntlet's way easier too.
Yeah. Croc wraparound.
Azure, I agree with Azure. The wraparound's free. That's actually been my experience with it too.
I don't know how free this is, but the mock ball that Zoast did coming out of Ice Beam, it's caught me off guard. I don't know. I guess I don't see that as much as I thought, but it was.
Is it the Ice
really
Escape
nice.
mock ball?
Not the Ice Escape, like to get under the gates, but the one coming out of where you get Ice Beam from, where we have the 3 little crabs or whatever they are that.
Oh yeah, and he jumps
usually
in mock balls from the Ice Beam room.
Yeah, it was just fancy. I don't know how fancy, but it looked fancy to me. I dig it.
I mean, his movement is awe-inspiring. I mean, it's just yeah. There you go. It's leaving me speechless. All right, so Zoast is heading up top.
Caznode getting the cosine missiles.
Do you use a deboost strat to get those missiles?
I do, and I realized that if you are not neutral when you do the deboost, like if you're jumping in the right, you want to press left and just neutralize your movement in order to get the deboost that makes you jump higher. If you're like holding left or you're still moving, it's not going to jump you as high and you'll just run into the spikes. Let's see if he gets the Ocean Fly on this. Very nice.
Yeah, I can tell you, I know Holden is hoping for Ocean Fly.
Wow.
Nice. I love that strat. I have only done one successfully, but I see guys like Zoast, they just nail it every time, and just the consistency is just praiseworthy.
Absolutely. That's definitely the thing. Being consistent. I can get a lot of these strats, but doing it every single time is the show of a master.
I mean, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Anybody that competes at that level, they don't just do this in a PB and then, struggle. They can get pretty close to that mark every time.
Indeed. All right, looks like we're gonna take a trip to the ghost with the most.
Yeah, I'm checking chat to see if there are any guesses already for Phantom patterns.
You got a fast mid.
Fast mid. I have such a hard time keeping track. I always get about 6 or 7. The occasional 3 or 4, but I feel really confident Zoast is going to 2-round, regardless of pattern.
Ooh, nice little fast. Let's get a fast.
That would be outstanding.
I think that was 7
While Zoast
on the
is doing
Doppler.
that, Caznode got his Alpha Spark.
Ooh, commentator. That's like reverse commentator curse. Commentator. I don't know what you call that, but
you made it happen, man. Take it. That was a good call. I don't think anybody would have guessed a fast in a tournament.
6% chance of that happening or something crazy like that.
Yeah, chat's pretty crazy about that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think that was both on screen. Oh no,
there's just something extra special when you're seeing it live, though.
Yeah.
Super quick kill, somebody just called it. I'll take it. Good one. All right, this next room, Zoast is coming on. This room is super exciting. Get this bounce off this. Ooh, bounce right over it. Look at how smooth that is. Just the anticipation. This is going to be here. This is going to be here.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Caznode did a little wall jump off of the like Vileplume's lips. That was
how did he get there?
My goodness.
I would have been eaten, man. I fall on those things at least like 60% of the time over there. Nice speed strat by Caznode in the beta powerbomb room.
Yep, reduce that lag. That lag can be severe.
That is my favorite strat in the room because I can do it. Those are all my favorite strats, the ones that I can do. So Zoast did a deboost strat in the spiky room of death. I've seen some other people kind of do a speedball kind of through there. I mean, probably not enough speed for a speedball. I've even seen sparks through there.
Yeah, there's definitely a bunch of different ways you can get through there. Actually, I've been using your method, Kev, because it works for me, and I don't take any damage going through there. So
simple and life saving. It's not really a speedrunner strat, but it is a very safe and reliable one.
For sure. Nice little D-boost.
I like that D-boost right there. Yeah, that's great. It's pretty neat too in a spiky room of death. It's almost exactly the same way coming out as coming in, depending on your strat. You know, like you can actually do a simple strat the same way in and out and have the same result.
For sure.
All right, I love Zoast Attic. I'm just gonna check this out. You called that a commentator's curse earlier? Sorry, Zoast. My bad, dude. I still love it. All right, fan 2 patterns coming up for Caznode.
Yep.
Can we get 2 fast, please? Please give him a fast pattern. Annoying robot room on the right. I dig it. I feel it feels so good when you can get through the robots like that.
Agreed. Yeah, when you're sitting there just shooting 84 missiles into them, you just feel like you're just wasting time.
The reverse attic.
Oh, misses the wave shot.
That's a really tough timing to do X factors on Phantom.
Yeah, I
got it.
Yeah, that was good. I admittedly have never attempted X Factor. I knew that Dopplers were used in both or in New Route, and I figured eventually I'm gonna end up switching to New Route, so I might as well just learn Dopplers. But the X Factor stuff is definitely swag.
Yeah, I actually think they're both really good strats. I find myself more jealous of the X Factor strats because I've never gotten more than 1 or 2 particles to land, yet I have been able to get maybe 5 or 6 efficient Dopplers, so definitely a little easier for me with the Dopplers.
Zoast shooting.
Flushing the robots.
Yep. Shooting those shots down to move the robots, and then the power bomb to take care of the Chozo statue, so he can just blaze on through to.
Oh, nice. Caznode is really rocking those wall jumps. He's just having I don't even know what this East Super Missile or East Super's room. Wow, he did a really clean job getting through that.
Yeah, Caznode is moving right along a lot of these rooms, man. He's got a good pace. Haven't seen a whole lot of major oopsies really from either runner yet.
No, just subtle movement errors, and I'm not sure what time zone the racers are in. Us being in the Eastern time zone. So it could be at any part of their day, beginning, middle. I'm sure if it's not a normal time that they're used to playing, it could be a little problematic or maybe cause small mistakes that wouldn't normally occur.
For sure.
Here we go, Caznode. See what's. I would imagine he'd be using grapple for this room. Oh. That is always a major time killer when you have to get in the water.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, little.
So he just knew he wasn't going to get any suitless Meridia today, so just wanted to play in the water for a little bit.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yes, I mean, suitless is fun if you've
Yeah,
never done it.
if you know, you like what you like.
That's actually one of the things that has always had me scared to try randomizers, you know, being unfamiliar with the suitless environment and the possibility that might happen. But that's off topic. I apologize. So let's see. All right.
Zoast has got 230 going into Gauntlet, but he's got his reserves, so he should be okay.
Nice, good spiky room, good reverse spiky room for Caznode. I always like how they do those mock balls in the water, and they're able to kind of cut the drag a little bit and go through the water smoother than if they landed without morphing, and just being able to keep your momentum going forward. I mean, that's a really big part of the game.
Absolutely. Let's see if Zoast can snag this second spark through Gauntlet.
The timing, it's such a tight window.
Very nice.
Wow. I actually think Zenny is the only other person I've seen do that spark. I'm sure others have, but I've only seen Zenny and now Zoast do that. Oh man, how does he save that?
I've seen that saved
Holy cow.
that way twice now.
I gotta tell you, I have watched so many of Zoast's videos, especially when I was like learning the game, and I was just mesmerized by it. And I have seen him cut those crumble blocks close in so many areas, and just be just like down in Green Brinstar and that one, and he just jumps back up, and I don't know that I see anybody with that kind of consistency with that backup.
Yeah, I've seen it in a couple of races in this tournament, at least one other one, and it's scary to watch for sure.
Yeah, there actually was one other racer in this tournament. I forget who did have a good crumble block save. I did see that. I just the racer's name escapes me right now.
Yeah.
If somebody in chat knows.
Caznode had a nice little strat back through attic. Just getting a nice little speedball through there, not having to worry about anything else, just blasting through it. Don't take damage from the little electrical turrets or whatever those things are.
That's always the hard thing when you're watching Super Metroid, and I've seen other commentators, it's just like, what do I call? What do I not call? What stories have been talked about? What hasn't been talked about? You're always bound to miss miss 5 strats while you're talking about one strat, just because there's so many different ways to play this game.
Yeah, especially when we're doing hundo and we're doing 2 different routes. There's way too much to even talk about. Caznode, I think, was trying to get the bowling spark, but just didn't have enough speed, unfortunately.
That's one of the short charges, and short charges can be pretty tough. We'll see another one a little bit later when we get to Meridia, which is not too far off when Zoast does his pink cleanup over here.
Yep.
Didn't fall down the hole with the speed, Sure, we've all. What is that? The Decora down there? I've fallen down that hole many times.
I have yet to, but now that I say that, it's going to happen next run.
Hey, if you don't know how to spark, you will be taught.
All right.
Mission Impossible coming up.
Caznode
like conserving health in the
setup. There we go.
D-boost.
Nice
Yes.
Out. It's the blue suit through the door. Can he take out? All right, dude. That was
so wild.
That was nice.
So wild. Now when he comes out, I'm pretty sure with the Spore Spawn missiles, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a one-shot with supers. He's only got 6 to kill, but I feel really confident that he's not going to need all of them. How many supers, Papa, do you blow through when you're trying to get those missiles?
I mean, It used to be a
Holy
thing
cow.
that was something that took me a lot, but as soon as I knew the right spot, there's a couple of different ones. It only takes me one these days, but
That's good, man. I can usually get it within 3, but sometimes I'm going 5 or 6. And I got to be honest, that's the reason why I still save at the ship, is so that I have enough supers to make sure that I'm not losing time at Spore spawn. Although I'm sure somebody in chat will say, well, it takes 15 seconds to, save at the ship, so you're losing time either way. But I don't know. I just like to have confidence going into this section. Oh, and here, by the way, are the charge missiles we had talked about earlier. He's laying that power bomb to get right through here.
indeed. Yeah, the first time I ever ran Hundo, Kip lent me his splits because I was in the multi-category tournament and I didn't know how to run a bunch of categories, but I joined anyway. And he gave me his splits, and the one for Spore Spawn on his splits just said small cake pop. And I didn't know it until I got there, but once I understood, like I saw the little things on the ground, I understood exactly what small cake pop meant, and it allowed me to get the right placement for Samus to get the Spore Spawn Super, so it was kind of funny.
Oh, that is nice. I wanted to mention that Caznode just got his gauntlet spark, and I believe he just did that with the wave beam, which is a more difficult strat than if you have, I think, Spazer and Ice, if I'm correct. Or I'm sorry, Wave and Spazer and Ice.
Yeah, I think it's pixel perfect for wave. With Spazer, it's a little bit different. I think it's somewhat more lenient, if I'm not mistaken.
I can tell you that I have never tried with just the wave beam. I've always had the wave Spazer combo, and works like a charm.
Yeah, I've also never tried with the just wave, and I used the behemoth. Well, I call it a behemoth, but that's who I saw do it the first time. You jump up and you align yourself with a part of the ceiling, and then you hold right, and wherever it is that you fall down, you just shoot the wave spazer shot from there, and it works every time.
That's the other thing incredible about these game is this game is strats. Some strats are just invented simply because of a layout somebody has for their controllers. Where they map their buttons. Because if I'm correct, Behemoth has to do it that way because he doesn't have an angle down map, so it's the only way he can pull that shot off.
There's that spark you were talking about.
Oh, that short charge right there. You can go into the room on the right so you can get a little bit bigger run. I think that's the intended strat. Or right where Zoast is going now, you can do a less of a short charge there. Saves more time than the door transition to go in the other room. But definitely a couple different ways to do that room that are very reliable.
And you notice when Zoast did that that short charge, it's already a fairly tight short charge. I use a stutter three tap to get that, but he was also shooting missiles to get the enemy out of the way, so he didn't have to kill the enemy first and then go back and do the short charge. So it's just another added layer of button hitting and complexity in order to get that a couple extra seconds there. Really impressive.
Actually, because we have so many charges in Meridia, and Meridia it's one of my favorite sections of the game. It's a little bit quieter. It's a little dark. It's kind of spooky. You got a lot of really cool movement things going on. You got a little hidden caves. It's like a big scavenger hunt in that area. But with all those sparks and all that, I don't really know too much. What are the different methods to do it? Because I just do it by feel, and I've gotten really consistent by it, but I couldn't tell you if I do a stutter 3, a stutter 4. I couldn't tell you what kind of charge I do.
Right.
Ooh, Caznode dropping down in the basement there.
Yeah, he missed a mock ball there.
A tough mock ball.
Yeah, I think Chabo put up a video of a backup strat. If that happens to you, you can just kind of be on the edge real quick, lay a bomb, and then just inch over a little bit so you can do a diagonal bomb jump from there if you know that you miss the mock ball, so you don't have to go all the way down and back up. It's pretty interesting. I haven't had to use it yet.
But I saw a really good room by Caznode right there. The way he just killed all those enemies before he ran through where golden mock ball, that room.
Yeah.
I know. Part I don't want to interrupt, and the other part is I'm like, holy cow, there's some really good strats being pulled off over here that I just really enjoy seeing.
No, I totally agree, man. It's so hard to call it all of this good stuff. There's just so much of it. And both of these runners are really doing a solid job pulling off their runs. So they're giving us too much good things to say, and we don't have enough time to say it.
Yep, yeah. There's a mock ball Zoast was, I think, going for in the pre-sandpit room he just entered in, or whatever you want to call it. And that's a really, really tough mock ball. That's a really hard room to navigate. The way those little fly-looking guys are floating around.
I can't stand those little buggers. Like,
If you have
they're
ice
so
beam, they're
annoying.
not bad. You can freeze them in their tracks, but if you don't, they just, you shoot them. You got to shoot them twice, depending on your beam combo. They're just irritating. It's really
Yeah.
good movement by Caznode here, coming out of Spore Spawn missiles. Really good efficiency there, the way he's using his ammo.
Yep. Zoast with the decalled X
Decalled.
Factor.
How old is that? Because I've really only started seeing that recently.
I don't know. I'm not going to comment because I really don't know, but I've been using it almost the whole time that I've been running any percent. So I gotta say it's probably been around for a little while at least.
So you're using X Factors. That's pretty great. Oh wait, full halfy coming up. Come on now.
Yep.
Everybody's favorite.
Oh, just
No.
the happy. He did get
A lot of
the
work
down
for the
back.
happy.
He did get the down back grab, which is the next fastest thing you can do. That's not the full happy, if I'm remembering correctly. So, good backup, but
I mean,
not
any player in the game have to have several backups. I mean, how many runs have you had where you're just like, this whole run was a backup?
Yeah.
It's all right, I'm
gonna,
training for next time when I mess up.
Pork Blood is calling you out in chat saying another commentator curse.
Man, I actually recall, if I recall, Kip, I want to say maybe it was Kip, but maybe it was another commentator, said, can't actually be the commentator's curse because we're seeing the stream, it's roughly like 20, 30 seconds, so it has already happened. Although I still feel like a jerk, so, I'll still have a little bit of guilt.
Curses don't follow the rules of man and time and space.
They go back. They go back in time.
They just do what they want.
It happened because they knew I was going to say something. Nice Dragon. It's probably a slower Dragon than Zoast wanted, but I mean, I still love any time you see an X Factor hit and you see a spark. I'm not too familiar with the patterns. I just know that was not the good pattern.
Yeah, no, he handled Dragon very well and got the spike suit on the first try. Usually takes me a couple times at least.
Well, then I will be calling you for a little tutorial on how to do that because I haven't. I have an idea, but that's about it.
I had to. For me, I just had to look up exactly what was needed to technically happen as far as what frames you're supposed to be pressing certain buttons, and once I understood the functionality of it, I just spent like 15 minutes doing it and got the timing.
Did you see that entry by Caznode going into Meridia? I think he did it so he was, would be lined up for the spark perfectly, but that was a really cool setup I hadn't seen used. And Zoast getting the speedball down, I think that's what it's called, through the blocks there in Meridia. Some really good movement happening right now.
For sure. Yeah, and Caznode missed the first attempt for that spark, but he got the second one no problem.
It still saves time compared to running in the room or going a little higher up on the higher ledge. So I would say, if you have a reliable short spark like that, it would be worth trying second, maybe even a third time as far as time is concerned.
Oh, absolutely.
Those wild missiles that are always fun. I think those missiles are I think they're in Nintendo Power %, which is a category I think was made up so that they could just tell people where some secret items are and have a reason to tell them where secret items are. Bizarre route. There's those set up for the ice clip there.
Yep.
The whole reason that this run is possible, because usually you need grapple beam to get that block, so you go up and around to get down to Shack Tool.
Yep.
Little rest. What rest do you like better, Shack Tool or bowling?
I think you get a little bit more with Shack Tool, and it's just fun to watch him just do. Well, I don't know, him, her thing. I don't know what Shack Tool is.
I'm
I
not
don't know.
sure.
I
We
don't
don't
know Shack
necessarily need
Tool's
to gender
pronouns.
Shack Tool, just Shack
Right.
Tool.
I don't know Shack Tool's pronouns. But I think I like that rest
Nice.
better.
It's really cool how you can use not just the environment, but how Zoast used that snail to kind of come through, so he can get through there a little quicker without having to wait for Shack Tool to clear out all the sand. Just these optimizations that these runners do to save, like little tiny mock ball there from Zoast to get out of there. Save what, half a frame or a frame, or just because it's fun to do. Sometimes I
Yeah.
wonder if I use some strats sometimes that are probably not 100% optimal, but I'm just like, all right, this is a lot of fun. I love doing this. I love this movement.
That is the point. Is it is to have fun. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. As I know, I'll go for strats that I shouldn't be going for sometimes, just to have fun.
Like Plasma Spark. That's a super one to
Oh,
always
plasma
go
spark,
for
yeah.
and never make. I think that is the hardest spark in the game. We were talking before about sparks, and Meridia is full of sparks. If you're in a category where you can try to do Plasma Spark, that is ridiculously hard. I like this. We have Shack Tool is Deer Force's way to remind speedrunners. What does it say? Relax and just breathe. You got this. So that's a pretty good comment right there. I kind of like that. It's a nice little quiet moment, one of the quieter sections of the game. Just take an inhale, enjoy the sights and sounds, and then go and kill a shrimp.
Yeah, I think Super Metroid does a really great job of giving you, I mean, even in door transitions and elevator rides, just giving you a second, man, and letting you think, take a breather.
Oh man, talk about more being talked about. You see those two moonfalls back to back by Zoast? Moonfalls being a relatively new thing, I guess, in the community over the last couple of years. That's just what I've heard. I've only been involved since about April or March. But I lost track what I was talking about. Just this movement. Yeah, those moonfalls there. Just so many different places where, Zoast can choose to save a couple, to save a second or two or save some frames.
Yeah, it's
And I'm definitely seeing more in races, from the last year than if you go further back, like when Moonfall was first discovered. I think racers are just starting to open up how many different areas Moonfall is a potential time saver.
yeah, it's really a massive.
Yeah, not really new. I know
time
chat's
for,
calling me out on that. I'm just
well,
repeating some stuff I hear, but
new is
it's all
subjective,
new
like,
for me, to be honest.
yeah.
But we definitely want to get
Very
that.
nicely done from
Ooh,
Zoast.
yeah, not getting soft lock there. That was a really good ledge grab. It was a really tight ledge grab.
Yeah.
It's I believe, did somebody get I think somebody got locked in there in the qualifier. I don't want to
Yes.
embarrass
Yeah.
anybody and call them out, so we don't need to we don't need to mention names unless somebody feels like throwing shade at somebody, but that's not my thing. I just remember that happening. It's just so sad when something like that happens in a race. You just feel bad for the racer.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
Caznode
Caznode getting that missing one of those
accidentally
particles.
well, I don't know if he missed the particles, but he definitely got the vertical spark instead of the horizontal spark.
Oh
So
yeah,
he
you're right.
was
You're
not
right.
able to get that big chunk of damage. So he's gonna probably have to throw another spark into Dragon's eye face thing that he's got going on there. There we go.
Dragon was one of the most scary and difficult bosses to learn. I would have like mini panic attacks every time I get in Dragon's lair, first learning how to play this game before. Like, it wasn't with grapple, it was after grapple when, I'm like, all right, done with grappling at any percent. Now I'm going to try to kill this thing, without grapple. It was the most impossible thing. It was just, actually, that's what drew me to Hundo at first, because it was the easier category where I had to get grapple, and I can kill this guy, or kill this shrimp this way.
Right, it was the easier fight. Yeah, gotcha. It's like Caznode sticking with the blue suit. Not a bad move. Sometimes you try to go for spike suit and you just end up wasting it. You get a bad frame, or I've gotten spike suit and then I get the D boost off the turret to collect the drops and then accidentally initiate the spark right then and there. So I just totally
Yeah.
waste.
Those sparks are pretty volatile from what I understand. But with blue suit, do you know what the time difference is? Because you can't use run when you have blue suit on because that will negate the blue suit spark.
Correct.
And I know sand will negate the spark. So what's the time difference getting that spark versus using run and then space jumping across the is it
So
Coliseum?
if you get the Womple jump, if you get the Womple, it is almost the same as the blue suit. The blue suit is faster by maybe a second and a half, but if you get Womple, it's almost the same as doing a blue suit. Now, if you don't get the Womple and you have to do kind of the regular just space jump across at normal speed, then it's probably blue suit's probably a solid 5 or 6 seconds. That's just me spitballing, but
By the way, this entry to Lower Norfair, this the D boost that Zoast does when he lays that power bomb, and then the blue guy hits him at that right time. That's just such a smooth, dance. I'm just watching Zoast is just watching like a well choreographed dance.
it is
It's
like
just
the ballet.
everything's in the right spot. It's where he needs it. Whoa! I have
Oh,
not seen that strat.
Zoast going for the Kip invented Flower House Junior strat, showing a
I
little
love it.
love to
Wow.
Kip's way. It's not faster than the optimal strat, but it is not much slower. Very well done.
I gotta tell you, that looked really, really killer. I
Yeah.
actually think I might have to study that one because I've tried to do that spring ball strat. It's just the timing is so. Uh, Stay in the ball here. Stay in the ball.
Ooh.
I think it was definitely a racer. I think Hoda Ruby missed those missiles earlier today and had to go back and get them. I think if I recall, I was on my way to work and I was just sitting there and I got a chance to watch a little bit of that race earlier and I remember thinking like, oh, that's a bummer of a time loss.
Yeah, that's just, you hate to see any runner, miss the gauntlet missiles or the GT missiles. It's just,
Those have got to be
their
the two
heart
biggest time
sinks
losses
further.
if you miss them.
I'd say that's probably accurate.
I mean, unless you miss spring ball and you have to completely go back there later, I guess that would be the most out of the way item. But
So Zenny's saying that the Flower House Junior is actually the fastest strat. I'm wondering if that's because instead of having to run to the right to get the blue suit to do the space jump, you just can immediately go to the left. But I thought Kip said that he had talked to Behemoth and showed him that strat, and that it was slightly slower, but not by much.
well, since Zenny knows way more about this game than I could ever hope to learn, I'm gonna trust his judgment. He seems to be a pretty reliable guy in the Discord with anybody that needs to know some Super Metroid information.
Zenny is great, man. Dude's just all around awesome runner and stand-up guy and likes to help everybody, and it's just,
I mean, I'm still
great at what
really
he
new
does.
in this community, and I got to say that has been my experience from right from the get-go. Anytime, and I feel like an idiot asking sometimes, like, "Hey, I got this really stupid question." Everybody's like, "Nah, that's cool," and they just kind of throw an answer out there. They don't make you feel like a dummy. They make everybody feel pretty welcome.
Yeah, this community is definitely why a lot of us are still here and why we enjoy what we do so much. Zoast set a power bomb before coming out of the acid. I believe that reduces lag by changing what audio is playing. And correct me if I'm
Yeah,
wrong, but
I think that's the same thing because he also does that in Speed Booster when he's coming out of there, I believe. And I know there's a couple places he do it, and I definitely remember that it had something to do with the audio.
Yeah, they're saying it overwrites the rising lava sound, which is more expensive
Thanks, cutie.
yeah, very nice pirates doing the fastest pirate strat, making it
Structure Super
easy.
Metroid community is the best. I agree.
All right, time for some Ridley action.
Oh, this is definitely one of the most comfortable Ridley fights. You got a lot of health going in there. You've got plasma, that plasma ice combination, 20 shots and he's down. And if you got a lot of super missiles, I mean, you can get him even faster. I mean, if you do,
Absolutely.
what's the quickest strat? Is it something like 10 or 15 charge beams and then you know, 10 supers, 50? I don't know what
Well,
the fastest way.
you're
I
putting
think
in
it's slightly
supers
more
as
optimal.
fast as you can is the highest DPS because of the extra damage that supers do
Right.
to Ridley. So yeah, I mean, if you had enough supers, it would be potentially all
So
supers would be the fastest, but
Cutie says 30 supers. So optimally, would 30 supers be better than a combination of charge beam and supers?
it would be faster, yes, but
Yeah.
depends on what you want to do with your
So the
ammo.
damage per second is greater if you know that. I guess that's also a tempo thing, I think.
For sure, yeah. But Zoast just making it look
Yeah,
super
Tracy
easy.
says you don't want to use all your supers. That's definitely right. You definitely want to conserve supers for later in the run, especially with all the supers you need going on in Turian
Yeah.
to be successful. To do it optimally. I love that room Zost just did coming out of those pirates there. And then, oh, nice spring ball
Wow.
strat. That is so cool.
That
Just
was well
clipping,
done.
just clip, 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 using those die-frames.
Yep, I didn't.
That speed ball, I think, is so impressive.
It is, and that's a little bit of a dance in and of itself as well because you have to get the D boost to get the iframes to be able to set up that, and then what's really kind of funky right at the end is that the hill goes up, so it's a little bit different than just a regular trying to get a regular speed ball because you have to compensate for that just a little bit.
And here's Zo's getting the Firefly E-Tank, which I think is one of the more difficult rooms to navigate through smoothly, getting that D boost. And then there's just so many different places where you can get just hung up, like a tooth right there if you jump too early. And that's the crazy thing. It seems like this game is always out to get you. You make the slightest movement error and it's going to punish you.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to go for some of the stuff that these guys are going for.
Ooh, are we going to get this
So
Hoda Ruby special?
looks like it's coming. Yep, there it is.
That is so killer.
And I think if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if Zoast does the same thing as Sunny does, but I think we're looking at a spike suit off of the spikes coming up here to take over to X-ray.
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen Zenny do that for sure.
Okay, maybe not.
No, I've seen him do it somewhere. Sorry,
Yeah, I thought
but
I
then
had.
again, I've seen a lot of racers. I would definitely trust him. I wouldn't know. These missiles. I always felt like the shape of this missile room was like a space invader.
Yep, I'm mixing my roots here. Is saying you get the spike suit off of the Croc spikes because we haven't seen Croc on Zoast's screen yet. So
would that be one of the longer suits to carry? One of the longer spike suits to carry in the game from Croc all the way to X-ray? Or is there one that's that you have to hold one longer than that? Like I feel like there might be an RBO.
that's a good question. I don't know. It's a lot of categories. I think you could potentially have one depending on what you're trying to do. But holding that spike suit is not easy. You're very conscious of what you are doing.
Well, so with your movement to hold the spike suit, and it's worth talking about if Zoast is going to do it down after Croc, you have to jump in a specific way so that you don't set off the spike suit.
Correct. There's a lot of things, yeah, that you can.
Which would
do. You have
affect
to
your
make
movement
sure
and changes strats.
Yeah, you have to make sure you're spin jumping. If I understand this correctly, so every time you jump, you want to make sure you're pressing forward before you are jumping. And also, if you're in the air, and you press up, you can also. I've done that a bunch of times where my D-pad's wearing out, and I'm just trying to switch directions to the air, and I hit up, and it just sets it off, and it's just.
I used to have so many D-pad issues when I first learned how to wall jump, and I'll spin a whole lot, and you have to be really, really accurate on the D-pad. But I do want to mention right now, Caznode, his whole entry, going down the southern route there to Lower Norfair, just really, really crisp movement. I mean, he's doing really a solid job with his movement.
Absolutely,
No major errors.
he got the chronic boost, which is definitely a fancy strat.
Coming up for the one shot for poor Croc. And this is super cool.
Oh yeah. Zoast got the D boost coming out of the vertical shaft room. I don't know what it is. You get you shoot a super missile so that one of the enemies falls with you, and then as you're going through the door, you get the D boost off of him. Really.
There's
really
definitely
awesome.
There's another D boost like that, I think, in Turian. Trying to connect off a Rinka to drop down through the door, and there's a couple little D boosts like that are optimal movement going from one room to the next.
For sure. Zoast just hanging out in the air, waiting for old Skull and Bones Crocky.
That is really neat on that the suit. How you Caznode, I just noticed. I turned to look at chat for a minute, and Caznode's all the way on the western side.
Left side strats. Let's go.
I mean, I'm sure I love how this works the same way at the other side of the room. If you're standing in the right pixel, he still can't hit you.
Yep.
Still, it's always a pain when he moves over there. So I wonder what strat he's going to use out of here. I think it's kind of slower, but I like to charge a spark when I'm out of here. So after I get the screw attack, I just like to shoot straight up.
Yeah, takes a little bit of time to if you're not set up for it to kind of run back to get the room to get the spark. So I think it probably with the what he was doing and the door was already open. He wasn't.
Yeah, it'd take too long to charge it.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to see Zoast now doing very different strats than we saw Caznode do down here with grapple and all that. I mean, he's got screw attack, he's got space jump, he's got spring ball. I mean, these rooms are much faster with the movement items that he has right now.
Yep, you're going to see him blazing through for sure. Caznode looking for the fast pillars, couldn't quite get the spark.
Way more forgiving than any percent if you don't get that spark. He's got screw attack. He can just kind of blast through the pillars.
Absolutely.
This room right here that Caznode's going into now, the mouse missiles. The first time I came out of there and I dropped below and I saw rooms I'd never been in before, I'm like, oh, come on, man. Where is this taking me?
I've yet to fall down there, but then again, I haven't been running Hundo for a whole long time, so...
You don't want to go down there. There's nothing fun down there. It's just slow.
I remember going in there through my casual runs as a youngin.
Those really fast fireballs. This room, this game, every corner, it's just full of creepy crawlies and wild things coming after you. It's great.
Really, really great super missile. Oh, and the mock ball. That's a lot of inputs that you got to get right.
I missed it. Caznode was struggling a little bit with the key hunter room there. But we're off to see. You're going to see another Ridley fight soon, and Zoast is going to head up to Blue Brinstar, he's going to head up to X-Ray, and then Blue Brinstar, clean that up. Do you think he's going to go for a reverse slinky or just space jump up Green Hill Zone?
I don't think we're going to see reverse slinky. I think unless I don't know, unless you're super confident. I mean, I guess
beautiful spring ball.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I know it obviously saves some time, but difficulty.
Oh, he lost his spark.
That's rough. Right before the door. Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
he's way ahead right now. It's not going to have any, it's not going to have any anything that's going to really affect the race. Can just fly right over there with space jump and screw attack. But
Sure, sure. It's just
I mean,
heartbreaking to see.
what's exciting? I mean, you got that spark, you've got Gauntlet Spark, and I think those are the two longest sparks in the game. Maybe Ocean Fly. I mean, those are three serious sparks. And I used to hate sparks, but because they were so hard to do. But the more I play this game, the more I watch it. Those are some of my favorite strats right there. Just any shine spark is awesome.
Absolutely. Speed Booster is my favorite item, and it's just because of all the cool stuff you could do. This Ridley fight is almost done. Speaking of a Ridley fight, I had to put my son to bed earlier, and he was giving me some trouble.
If I remember correctly, your son is named Ridley.
I did name him after the Ridley, the one. I'll tell
Here
you how
goes
much of a
Zoast.
Super
Let's see.
Metroid fan I am.
I think that's cool, man. So I saw in chat, there was talk about a Metroid tattoo. Or I'm sorry, in the Discord, and I got to tell you, I got a ton of tattoos, and a Metroid tattoo is definitely on my bucket list right now.
Same here. Maybe we should get together and.
Hey, I mean, you don't really live geographically that far from me. It's definitely a possibility. Let's see, is he going to do this? Caznode does a little deboost off that blue guy. Coming out here, a little run through the acid. Zoast is going for the ceiling E-Tank. One of my favorite strats for this E-Tank is doing the deboost off of that critter over there, which this is not a category you would use that for. I mean, I've done some RBO doing that, but that's again, whatever category you're doing or whatever route you're doing changes and affects the strats, and the versatility of this game and just access to people, anybody that wants to get into it. It's definitely a good game to get into.
Absolutely, man. I couldn't have said it better myself. Caznode got the speedball out of coming out of Ridley, and he'd only killed 3 of the enemies. There was still 1 left, and I thought he was gonna bonk it, and then he just plasma shot to kind of get some invincibility through the enemy. It was really cool. I'm definitely going to snag that, and because I always get hit by that guy, and it never occurred to me to do that. So good job, Caznode.
I've heard a lot of runners, like Kip in particular, will say that he loves watching other racers, other than just the top racers, because just the way people play this game, they might come up with a strat that works for their either their limitations or their higher level of skill. But there's just so many different ways to play the game. If you haven't seen somebody do this one strat and you got to come up with your own, somebody might take a look at it and say, oh man, I never thought about that before, using the room in that manner, or using the enemies to achieve that result.
Yep. I think that's why this community is so awesome, because we all, so many different runners doing so many different things, and we all just want to share with each other and help each other, get faster.
If I did not have a community of people that I could talk to and say, how do you play this game without ripping your hair out? And they're like, oh, hey, we got a strat for that. I don't know how far I would have made it through this game. So, and, being able to join races and, seeing guys like Zoast and Caznode join community races, and seeing all the community that pop up, on an SRL race, or you get a chance to watch them in a tournament, and it's so cool. So actually, before I forget, I just want to thank everybody for listening to me while I talk about Super Metroid. This has turned out to be an incredible evening for me.
Absolutely, man. We're glad to have you on comms, man. Can tell the love you have for this game, and I'm sure that these 2 runners have the same love, dedicating this much time to getting these awesome strats and these awesome times, as Zoast is done picking up the first missiles you're supposed to pick up, but are the last ones you pick up in this category, and is now on his way to go destroy some statues and head down
And
to
you
the
you want to do the
motorway.
joke about those missiles?
The tooth hurdy missiles.
Uh,
I
not
will
my
not do
not
that
my
joke.
favorite Super Metroid joke,
Nope,
but
nope. I will
it's
not do that joke.
it's fun nonetheless. You know, I love all the cool stuff in Super Metroid. The names of the rooms, like you got G4 here. You know, Caznode just picked up the reserve tank there, and you know, Bubble Mountain area,
Yep.
Bubble Mountain reserve tank, and it's just really neat. It's going to lay this power bomb to save a little. Whoa, nice deboost strat to save a little bit of time. That is a really, really tricky room to navigate through.
Yeah, well, getting that strat looks really, really cool. I always try it. Haven't gotten it yet, but I also haven't really practiced it. But yes, well done by Caznode.
I
You
am
get a
now
little
newly
roof
aware of
wall.
that strat. It's time. It's time to research. I think Professor School, who was another racer in this tournament, you know, I remember having a chat with him. Something about like, oh, I got to study this. I got to study this. I think I was trying to learn stand up, which we're going to see by Zoast pretty soon. You know, you ask about anything in the Discord. Hey, I need to know strat, and 7 people are going to come and help out and say you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, which is pretty awesome.
Really, really good stuff from rooms Metroid rooms 1 and 2.
Yeah,
See,
Zoast has a
to the
really
spring
clean
ball.
Turian.
Nice. That is
Oh man.
3 very good rooms. Well done.
So I knew this race wouldn't disappoint when you know, I saw that I had a night free that I could commentate, and I saw that it was going to be a Zoast race. And you know, the first Super Metroid video I ever saw was actually Zoast's world record race. I was just kind of like, all right, I'm going to learn this game, and it was his one of his any percent records. You know, I don't remember which one it was, but I just remember seeing this guy run it, and so of course I immediately had to watch as many videos as I could of what he did. Just an incredible runner. So to get to commentate one of his matches is really, really an honor. You know, in Caznode, I haven't met him. Oh, Zoast got grabbed.
Yeah, it looked almost like I wasn't sure if he was trying to go for the YOLO skip, where you implement the spring ball into just get in there as quickly as you can, because he was in a morph ball form, but then he stopped and just kind of did the regular skip. But
That was interesting
rough
how the
one.
baby reacted over there. I've never seen that before, how it just kind of waved back and forth.
Yeah, it usually does that. That's it being like, wait, I'm confused. Are you my mommy? I've heard that song before. So it usually does a little like confused back and forth, but I think when you're all the way on the left edge of the
Yeah, it
screen,
just looked kind of weird over there all the way on the left.
yeah,
Now, I
luckily
think,
Zoast did not go into the door because he would have had to save and reload in order to get that slow-mo effect that happens when the baby grabs you and you go through the door to get off. It's a rough.
no down back skip. I wonder if he's going spring ball. Yeah.
Yep, there it
That
is.
seems to be. I know it's not a new strat, but it's definitely one that we've been seeing more and more often in the last year here. I think that was originally a GT Classic strat, the spring ball skip, and I know definitely I run a lot of GT Classics, so I've seen a lot of racers do that.
Yeah, I'm not
but when
sure.
you're talking about the spring ball skip before, Zenny and Behemoth, they both do the spring ball skip, correct?
I don't. You talking about through the Zebetite?
No, the baby. I'm sorry, the baby spring ball
Oh,
skip.
gotcha.
I'm sorry, I was going back to that. My bad.
Yeah, I've seen them both do that. I think if they don't do that, that's for a different reason. But yeah, they usually go for that, if I'm not mistaken.
So with Zoast here at the Mother Brain 2 fight, I think it's important to mention, you know, once he survives the fight, how he's going to damage himself down. I mean, we saw he took Various suit off when he was doing the Gauntlet Spark. At least that's where he usually does it. And now he's going to damage himself down so that he can do a stand-up. So I've recently only gotten this a couple times myself, just getting into it for GT for Hundo races. But do you know a good way to explain how this works, or where you should be, and like
I'll
the
try to
threats of
do it.
soft locking?
I'll try to do the cliff notes here. Before I do that, though, as you can see, definitely give these runners, if you haven't already, a follow. They are both awesome runners, and definitely give them some love. The stand-up glitch is basically your ability to, as you can see Zoast doing right now. Normally, Samus would be in this animation where she's kneeling and can't get up because she's been hit with the rainbow beam, and she's just out of energy, and the baby heals you, as you can see they're doing now. But instead, Zoast is able to move around and do damage to Mother Brain before this little cutscene ends, so that when you actually get to the third phase of this Mother Brain 3, you only have a couple of shots with the Hyper Beam to take Mother Brain out. It's much faster. And basically it works because you manipulate your health in order to make Mother Brain think that you're ready for the second rainbow beam to come and the baby to come to start that cutscene. There's a
Now, that's
couple
a
things
pretty
that you
successful. Zoast got three or four shots with the rainbow beam, and Mother Brain 3 is down, or Mother Brain 2. Yeah, Mother Brain 3, and that was a great explanation. Thanks.
yeah, it's definitely something that can go wrong in some pretty severe ways. So that's good that Zos got through there nice and clean with that stand-up glitch. You can definitely soft lock yourself, and oh, we've got a nice little
Ooh, that
spark
was.
into the ceiling there. He's just checking the ceiling, man. You never know. That little part of the ceiling looks suspect, so you got to check it out.
So, in this is Zost's first race of the tournament, correct? Or
Uh,
has he done? Is he because the top
uh,
16 had a bye in the first week?
right. So let's see here. Zost, yes, this I believe is his first. So the winner of this race will go on to um, face Sasho Boss. But yeah, I think you're correct. I think this was his bye was the first round, and this is round 2 against Caznode.
So, and we all know Zost has been grinding the, I believe the map completion, 100% map completion record, which he has set. So, I wonder how that has affected his gameplay. With somebody who runs as many categories, I think we talked about that earlier. When you run a lot of different categories, you can get strats mixed up, or, who knows, anything can happen.
For
To
sure.
throw you
And
off
so
your game.
Zost has
But still,
efficiently,
unbelievable 115.
for sure. Zost has finished in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 42 seconds. GG to Zost.
Yeah, GG Zoast. What a
Who
pleasure to watch.
absolutely. A lot of just great stuff all around, and Caznode as well. And he's heading himself into Torian to face the end of the game as well.
I mean, it looks like Caznode is running a really good time. I don't know what PB is, but he's going to be like I don't know, a 123-ish or one.
Yeah,
I'm not that
that's
good at knowing how much time Turian takes because I know it's a little different in certain categories. This being a faster Turian than say
right.
an 80% Turian.
It's definitely going to be faster than his qualifying time, which was a 126 something. So
So are we
we'll
going to
see
see
how
a
much he
PB here?
improves. We very much might.
So, because Zo's PB is in the 114 range, and I think he's third on. Is he third on Deer Tier?
That's a great question. I don't know exactly what spot Zos is in. We'll see. See if
Zost
Zos
is
is
fourth. Cutie is saying, but
okay.
yeah, he's third. Okay, yeah, now Cutie's saying he's third. Now I thought he I know Oats and Ghosts had bopped him, and I thought that Zost had retaken that third spot. So yeah, it's been Chad is confirming that he's in that third spot.
Gotcha. So we will, of course,
Caznode is
wait.
about a minute behind his PB. Okay.
Okay.
I keep kind of forgetting that I have chat going on here because it's just been such a great race to watch. You know, again, just
Very
no
nice. Very nice
serious
game.
errors. That's really good. And of course, on our right side of the screen, we're waiting for, you know, confirmed 100% from Zoast, but I have no doubts that it's 100%. I didn't happen to notice if he had missed anything.
I don't. I mean,
I mean,
yeah,
you would not
it's
expect it.
for sure. I mean, stuff can definitely happen, and it is hard to sometimes tell with both things going on and us trying to mention a whole slew of different awesome strats and stuff happening that there could be something missed, but I wouldn't expect it to be for sure.
Oh, it says Zoast got a race PB. Did you mention that already? I might have zoned out a little.
Oh, yeah, by 2 seconds.
All right, 2 seconds. Hey, man, a PB is a PB. I think I
That's
was in the
right.
Discord. I can't
That's
remember
right.
if it was Cutie or somebody said, you know, they got a PB by just, you know, a small PB, and like PB is a PB, and I'll agree, man. I feel amped if it's 1 or 2 seconds. All right, dear force, we got 100% confirmation coming up, and Caznode is dodging some mother brain onion rings.
Oh, luckily,
Yeah.
that was is that a triple? I think that was a triple hit.
Yeah, I don't think anybody
That's like
seriously
3
worries
tanks.
about ketchup and hundo.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, you got all the tanks. If you wanted to just tank the ketchups, you'd be asking for something bad to happen, because as you can see, you can get triple hit. You can take 300 damage from one ketchup, maybe even more.
Ketchup, always rough one. Sorry, I'm scrolling through my chat. I lost track over here.
Oh,
I
good.
thought I lost the chat for a minute.
We do have a confirmation, 100%.
That always feels good. I don't know if you've ever gotten less than 100% in a race. I've definitely done it. I definitely have had to forfeit a race with 99%. But it's always such a satisfying feeling. You see that 100% roll across the board, and you're like, all right, I got it. You know, especially if you had a decent time. Just good feels.
Absolutely. Got another good stand-up glitch set up. Looks like Zoast's going to continue on.
So now I heard in stand-up, there's also a possibility of soft locking when, you know, you can get soft locked here if the onion rings are not hitting you properly or not doing damage on the baby. But when the beam changes from this beam to hyper beam, I guess there's a moment where you have a danger of that.
Correct. That's why Caznode is pausing right there, because if you are shooting at the plasma shot when you are given hyper beam, the game will slow to a 1 frame per second crawl until that beam is off screen, and then you'll get your stuff back. Zenny had that happen in one of the qualifiers, and
oh, is that what happened? I actually saw. I did see that, and I know his screen was frozen, but I didn't realize that was the reason why.
Yeah, I'm pretty. 1 frame per second is being generous. Yeah, it might be something less than that, as there's commenting on, but yeah, it can really be a bummer for sure.
I'm always amazed how these racers know everything down to a single frame. Like, I cannot watch a screen and say, "Yep, a frame has just passed," or "I lost a frame."
Yeah.
Just the level of detail with minutia is just mind-blowing.
Yeah, and it's interesting, like when you're talking about 1 frame in the spike suit, you have to unmorph on the first frame after you hit spikes or a turret or whatever you're hitting, and then you have to press jump on the 10th frame after that first frame, and if you press it on the 9th frame, that's what's called the bad frame, and you don't get your spike suit. But that 1 frame of difference, you have to somehow program into your mind and your fingers. And that is a GG for
Yeah,
Caznode.
GG.
He had finished in second place with a official SRL time of 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 54 seconds, well ahead of his qualifying time, and has a race PB as well. So that's two race PBs
Wow. He
by
really
2
turned it
minutes.
up for
Yeah, by 2 minutes and 59 seconds from a race PB.
that is
Um,
outstanding. I imagine if you're going against Zoast, you want to have your I both envy and don't envy Caznode in this position to race Zoast because I mean, who wouldn't want to race the best? But at the same time, the nerves, and the adrenaline, it's
yeah,
really, really exciting.
absolutely. I think Caznode performed very, very well in this race. He's obviously up against Zoast, and that's a lot of pressure being up against Zoast, and he did his thing and performed very well and gave us a great show. So, GG to Caznode. We'll obviously um, make sure he's got 100%, just for record purposes, and we'll see if Caznode wants to come in for an interview. Um,
We'll
so
see. It would be nice, but I got to tell you, I've really enjoyed my time talking, enjoyed my time here commentating, and just really glad that I got to watch such an incredible race. I apologize for the audio issues in the beginning. If I get a chance to do commentary again, I'll have a better idea on how to take care of the audio. I'm always so nervous when it comes to technology. Um, but the racers put on a good show. I didn't have to, we didn't have to watch anybody die or soft lock. So I mean, that's always always something you want to see when you're in a race. You want the racers to survive. You really want them to give their best effort in front of everybody watching. And thanks to the viewers, and thanks. This was a really, really great time. I can't believe how fast a hundo race seemed. I mean, it usually
yeah,
seems like it takes all day, right?
for sure. Yeah, it does for me. Um,
I mean, I got a 132 PB, so I'd still be going on for over 10 minutes from this point now, where they've already ended. So I'm blown away by anybody that can reach this level. It's like that's what I aspire to. Sure, why
for
not? I
sure.
can go sub 130. It's my next goal.
For sure. Well, it looks like we won't have any extra interviews today, but I'll second everything that you're saying, Kev. It was great to do commentary with you. I hope you had fun. I had a blast. It was great to watch these runners. It was great to have chat telling us when we, are sounding like too loud or too soft. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. And also telling us the information that we either got right or almost got right. Chat's the real MVP here.
I
Um,
get really sucked in on chat no matter what I'm doing. If I'm racing, sometimes I'll race GT Classic, and Crazy Al will restream it, and I'll like to listen to his commentary while I'm racing. But then I get suckered in by looking at the chat, because it's just really, really fun to see what everybody's saying in chat, whether it's trash talking or enjoying the race, or being blown away by a strategy, or just being sad at a racer's misfortune. That chat is a real wild and fun place.
Absolutely. So here we go. Confirm that 100%. While this
Come
is
on now.
going down, do you have any last words for the viewers, for yourself, for this
Thank
race?
you for abiding me. I appreciate it. It was a serious blast. I hope I get a chance to do it again. I hope I'm welcome to do it again. And GG Racers, thank you, Papa Schmo, and thanks to all the tournament organizers who put this together. I know it's a really huge undertaking. And I organize things like this in my professional life. I'm not going to talk about that, but thank you so much, and thanks for the opportunity, and thank you, Super Metroid community.
Well said, my friend. And I will say, echo everything that you just said, and I am excited for the rest of this tournament. I don't think there are any more races tonight. I believe that was the last one, but there is a lot more to come. This bracket is starting to look pretty hot and heavy. I'm really excited to see some of these upcoming races. So,
You know, Do we have any? Do we know what races are upcoming? Maybe we can let everybody know what the upcoming races are.
Well, let's see here. We could check the. Let me see if I have the link here. Let's see.
Yeah,
Is
that's
there
what I'm
mention of
looking up for right now. You know, I'm kind of hoping chat. Tracy says that was the last of this round, so
Okay.
it looks
Yeah.
like we know everybody that's going to the next round. I mean, if you're on the Super Metroid Discord, you know, you go to the tournament Discord, you can find the schedule for that. I'm sure anybody in the community would be happy to share. We got some thanks
Absolutely.
for the commentary, so I really appreciate it. Somebody's asking if the runners have to schedule their matches. I do believe that that's how they work it out. They try to find a time that is that works for both of the racers, so they can get that race in.
Yep, that is correct. Just to make sure that that the racers can commit to their times. They talk to each other and they find out a time and then they schedule it. But
Well, I got to tell you, I hope to find out for real the next time they have a tournament, because I'm going to keep playing and I'm going to keep entering tournaments, and at some point I will make one as a racer and not just a commentator. So
absolutely, man.
I
Same,
definitely
same
feel
here.
really excited about that.
Tracy's saying that the
Ooh,
Monday at
Mr.
7
Guy
p.m.
Average and Kip.
That is going to be a very, very good race. Those two
Uh,
racers are extremely well versed in the ways of the Super Metroid, and I will definitely be watching that, and with great anticipation for sure.
well, thank
Um,
you for that, Tracy. Definitely Mr. Guy Average and Kip are incredible racers. I'm just a little bummed out. I'm going to be at work at that point, so I'm not going to be able to watch that live, but I'm definitely going to watch the repeat.
yeah.
You know,
Are you sure?
Kip
Are you sure
especially.
you're not gonna have like a, a
Yeah.
little cough coming on that day? You gotta.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call out. I'm gonna have to call out sick. There's this really sweet speed running race I have to watch. You
Yeah,
know,
you
features
understand.
Kip, who, by the way, I think of Kip as the voice of Super Metroid, because he commentated a ton of races when I just was starting to get into this, and I heard all his commentary. So he kind of became the voice of Super Metroid for me. So I like watching Kip, and Mr. Guy Average. You know, he pops into a lot of the weekly races we have. So it's been nice kind of getting to see him at races. And you know, hey everybody, learn how to play this game. Come and join the fun.
Right on. All right. Well, I think with that we will sign off here. My name is Papa Schmo, and this is Kev Nastix. Glad to be here with you tonight. And until next time, whether that's Monday at 7 p.m. or whenever, we say everyone, the obligatory see you next mission, and thanks for stopping by.
See you next mission, Papa Schmo, and thank you so much, and thanks everybody for having me on. And take care, everybody. Have a great night.
All righty.